Hey folks, I am here to tell you that this plugin is epic. Yes folks, it really is. Today we are talking about motion tracking inside Final Cut Pro for professionals who need to deliver that better quality of product, especially in a drone space where we can add some titles, some pointers. We've got the capability now to put those area maps, boundary lines on our footage super easy with a couple of clicks. I know you are going to love it. Let's get into it now. Motion tracking in a 3D space like this is normally done in After Effects. Pretty complicated and relatively expensive subscription piece of software from Adobe, so being able to do it right in Final Cut Pro is really quite exciting. So to make this happen, you obviously need Final Cut Pro, that's the video editing software. You then buy the MTracker 3D plugin, which gives the software the ability to track that 3D space. Once it's captured all the data required, you can then place that onto the various elements that you then put into your scene. So those can be pointers, they can be titles, they can be these boundary maps, which is the new functionality that's just been released. Mindful that motion tracking is professional functionality and the alternatives to this are rather expensive, it's not a budget plugin. However, I'm pretty pleased to say that we have negotiated with MotionVFX an exclusive 15% discount on all of this stuff. So a link in the description below to that. Here we are inside Final Cut Pro with one of our old Phantom 4 drone clips flying forwards, showing this lovely country house. The first thing we need to do is use the MTracker 3D plugin to track this 3D space. So just like you would with any effect in Final Cut Pro, having installed the plugins, drag the MTracker 3D onto the clip and you'll see you have two options there to track the clip. Press either of those buttons and give it a little bit of time and it will track all the data points inside that clip. In this instance, we want to map out that walled garden. So in our titles, we go to MTracker 3D area and we see we have a whole bunch of preset options for doing just that. Drag a title down and, very important here, resize it at this stage to match the underlying clip. A moment ago, we analysed the underlying drone clip with the MTracker 3D plugin. We can copy all of the tracking data and then paste that into the, in this instance, 3D area element that we've pulled down on top, so that the tracking data of the drone clip is applied to whatever it is that we are now going to embed into that scene. I wanted to really test this plugin here, so we've gone for quite a complicated example. So much so, we're going to zoom in and use that little 3D axis to go around and just click on the various points. As I said, we're outlining this garden, this walled garden around this house. If you want a curved line between any two points, select a point and drag that little slider up to add that curvature. A quick look at what we've got so far. In comes that outline and it is moving with the image, and from what I can see, the tracking is absolutely perfect. In the case of the new 3D area pack that we are demonstrating here, not only do you get 20 or so presets, but you can customize every single one to the nth degree, from the line itself to the dots to the nature in which the area you've selected is filled, from a solid to some kind of gradient to some kind of animation. The list goes on and on. We've gone for something very creative and kind of stylized here, but if you're doing this in a more professional application, you might want something a little bit more sedate, shall we say. It just entirely depends on how you plan on using this. To every single line you can attach a label, so that could be a dimension, for example, or of course in our case some massive great big title identifying the location. Again, it's entirely up to you how you use this. And just by way of demonstration, why don't we copy and paste the tracking data from that underlying drone clip into some other elements, so a nice big flashing neon title, for example. Play around with the various settings, the position, and then if you look at the final result, it gets me every single time. The title is locked there in the sky. We're flying forwards towards it. You get that sense of motion as the title gets closer to us. I just absolutely love this stuff. I really, really do. In terms of the most cost-effective way to purchase this, remember we're talking about two things. We have the MTracker 3D plugin. That's just the functionality that tracks the 3D space of your drone clip in this instance. You have to have that for everything else. So you can buy that on a standalone basis, and it does come with the second piece of the pie, which is those titles or those pointers or some of those other elements. However, MotionVFX have seriously incentivized you to purchase more of those elements by bundling them at a significant discount, and it certainly certainly much more cost effective. If you're not so bothered about that area tracking, those diagrams on the ground for real estate professionals, for example, M-Tracker 3D Essential Bundle is definitely good value for money. Use our Stewart and Alina discount code, get another 15% off. That gives you all the cool pop-up titles, pointers, some other captions. Very, very good. If you do want that real estate functionality, the newly released 3D area side of it, then you need the M-Tracker 3D Area Bundle, which gives you all of what came before plus the M-Tracker 3D Area. It does start to add up, but if you do think you need that, this is by far and away the best way of doing it. Plus 15% discount. It helps. Anyway, I would love to hear what experience you've had with all of this, and do leave your comments below. Personally, you're going to be seeing a lot more motion track titles in our content going forward, that's for sure. A pleasure to talk to you as always, and we will see you next time.